two. Hello. All right. Do we have audio? Do we have audio? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hello, everyone. We got audio now. I forgot to plug the microphone in. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm a little rusty. I'm back. Hello, everybody. Mr. Lopez and MCDJ ACDC and Matt and Solid and Sparkster. Hello. James, great to see you too. Delvis, Peter. Codename New2 Vera2. Hey, good to see you in here. Exhausted Rooster Studios and Rich. Google, or George Lopez, I almost called you Google Lopez. Greetings from Guatemala. Greetings, Guatemala, from the United States. Hi, Big Gay Dave. Hope I don't miss anyone. I probably will, but hello, everyone. It's really nice to see everyone again. Hello, Draws. Thank you for the welcome back. Hello, Robert Monty. Great to see you. We got Green Yeti here. I don't know if we'll have Byron in here, but I hope so. There's Comic Tropes, the legendary and famous. Hey, Jack. It's good to see you, too. The Human Mechanism. Yo, Joe. Hello, Zathras and Glenn Robbins. Hey, Gory. Hi, Bob and Matt. And Leah is here, too. Awesome. Hello, Lazarus and Sean. I'm just going to read everybody's name. For the next hour, I'm just going to read everybody's name that pops up. That's entertainment, right? Finding deals while locked down. Not a lot, but let me show you something. Actually, I'll be right back. See, you waited for like 2 or 3 weeks for this, and I'm going to step away from the camera within 5 minutes of starting. But hold on, I got to get something for you. Oh, no, before I do that, no. More important business. Thank you to Mike from What's on Joe Mind for doing the live stream and covering while I was gone. Thank you very much. I appreciated that so much. It was very kind. And thank you to everyone who showed up. And if you didn't show up, make sure you go and check the replay on that. Just really, really kind to do. So thank you, Mike, for that. And now, hang on. I got to show you something. 1 second. All right. Okay. So I got this, and I've been working on this, in my spare time. I decided I wanted something to put all my patches and pins on. So I got this shirt, and I've started, putting patches on it, patches that have been given to me, patches I got from the Finest for the charity giveaway. I got my HCC788 patch. I've got a couple of pins from travel, and I got some on the back here. I'm gonna start filling that up, and of course I will be putting vintage patches on this thing. You think I'm not gonna put vintage patches on it? But see, this I want to take this to Joe Fest, assuming that we still have Joe Fest, and I want to get like pins and patches from everywhere I go. So it'll be like a history of my travel. So, yeah, hello, Codename New2Vera2. So yeah, I've been working on this, and I got, where is it? I got this, this vintage Live the Adventure patch, which, it'd be very naughty to put on this shirt, but, I'm a naughty boy, so, and I just ordered, from the same guy who did this HCC788 patch, I just ordered a Steel Brigade patch that's like the logo that's actually on the figure, like the arm patch, so I'll put that probably over here. Thank you, Vincent. Battle ribbons. Yeah, that's a good idea. If I can get some battle ribbons, I can put that on here. I've got some like dog tags. I've got the finest dog tag here, and then I've got like the vintage dog tags, the retail dog tags. So, and this is like Buzzer. Buzzer has the dog tags hanging from his pocket. Am I wearing pants? Look. Thank you for your concern, Chris, but I am in fact wearing pants. Oh, and there's what's on Joe Mind. I just thanked you to the room for very kindly covering the live stream last week. So thank you very, very much. Oh, yes, and Jack points out that Hasbro is releasing some of the Sunbow series on YouTube, which I think is great. I think it's good timing because they now have these 6-inch figures that they're trying to get people interested in. We're going to talk about those because they did introduce a new one. They did put up a pre-order for Destro, which, with the encouragement of Mrs. HCC, I did pre-order Destro. Comic Tropes wants to know if Carol Baskin fed her husband to the tigers. I believe Carol Baskin fed her husband to the tigers. That or he's under that septic tank. By the way, yes, all right. We can't not talk about Tiger King, right? We can't not talk about it. So we'll discuss that. But I did want to let everyone know that we will be doing story time this evening. And I picked one of the Find Your Fate books that I think is appropriate for our times. And so we will be doing story time of Operation Tiger Strike. There you go. So we'll be doing that in the last half of the hour. So be prepared to make your selections. Dagon says, what is Tiger King? If you have the Netflix, you need to look it up. I cannot adequately describe it, okay? And if anybody else tries to describe it, I mean, they'll try, but it's something you have to see for yourself. And for me, it's sort of a local story because this dude is from Oklahoma. The zoo that he had, the exotic tiger zoo, is in southern Oklahoma. The guy was all over the local news because he's a nut. Yes. Now you could be don't confuse Joe Exotic with Safari Joe, okay? Safari Joe is the other wild animal park owner that went to jail for a totally different reason. See, Joe Exotic went to prison for putting out a murder for hire on a lady, all right? Safari Joe, he was convicted of child sex abuse. So they're both from Oklahoma, both named Joe, and they both have exotic animal parks, but two totally different nut jobs. Okay, totally different nut jobs. Yes. So yeah. We'll talk about it. I hate to spoil it for you, but I don't think it's possible. Whatever we say in here. Susan says, hello, Susan. Safari Joe's charges were dropped after the two girls who charged him found out they had... Oh, okay. All right. My apologies. And my apologies to Safari Joe. Tragic. I withdraw my accusation. Today has been a heck of a day. All right, I'm still working from home, But I am also babysitting. Excuse me. Also babysitting the son of a friend of mine. He is 7 years old, and apparently I'm his favorite YouTuber. He's been watching my videos constantly. Now he is all about G.I. Joe, and we played G.I. Joe all day except for the time I had to work. I'm exhausted because the kid has a ton of energy, but that was a lot of fun. It really was. So yes, I was told by his mom that I can say his name but not use his last name. So AK, thank you for a fun day, and we'll have a fun day tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we will be customizing Joe's. I got a ton of G.I. Joe parts, and I got a lot of O-rings, and I got a lot of screws, and we got a screwdriver, and we're just gonna make guys for as long as we can tomorrow, in between me having to work. It kind of sucks that I have to work, but you know, I'm doing the best I can to make time. Yes. And thank you, Aaron. AK last name 47. I can neither confirm nor deny. Yeah, a lot of screws loose. But anyway, so it was a fun but exhausting day. So I'm a little punchy. I've got my robot here. This is actually we drug this out today. This is one of the few surviving toys from my childhood. And you guys remember when I opened the toolbox that had the last of my Joe collection from when I was a kid? That toolbox, it's up there right now. Well, this is one of the very, very few other remaining toys from my childhood, this robot guy here. So he's joining me. I don't think even as a kid I ever gave him a name. I might have to think of a name, but yes, it's really great to see you guys. I mean, I did see you guys chatting before the live stream started, and I just really missed being here. It's been an exhausting and stressful few weeks. But I think Johnny Robot. All right, you know what? That's it. That's his name. There doesn't even need to be any other suggestions. What's on Joe Mind has named him Johnny Robot, and that's it. That's end of discussion. So yeah, Johnny Robot here will hang with me. But yeah, it's been crazy. But I can say, however, yes, I went on a drive, but then I came back. That was a heck of a time. But I actually finished a video. I actually finished an entire video, done, edited, uploaded, scheduled. For those of you on the Patreon, you will get your early access. It is ready. Now, I just have to figure out what I'm going to do next. Because my schedule is pretty much blown out of the water. And I was looking at, like, the next things that I had already planned to do, and I don't know, they're just not turning me on. The Killer Weezer says, did you eat the 72-ounce steak? I didn't have time to do that, but I swear to all that is holy, when I go back through, I am going to eat the 72-ounce steak. I'm going to finish that thing in the allotted hour. Okay, if the carpetbagger can do it, I can do it. I've seen it. I know it's big. But I feel like I can do it. I believe in myself. I'm doing it. I'm gonna eat that 72-ounce steak. Actually, one thing that we, when the quarantine is lifted and the world goes back to something like normal, One thing that Susan and I want to do is we want to take the Route 66. Please give us a more effeminate Okie accent. Now I had a friend from the UK who did kind of a study. Hello, Cujo. Nice to see you, Cujo. I had a friend from the UK who was kind of doing a study of accents, and he wanted like examples of Oklahoma accents. And your Joe Exotic and like those folks in that area, like that is like classic rural Oklahoma. That's what you'll find if you go out there. Now, not everybody talks like that, and I've tried to, as much as possible, eliminate my regional accent. Can you go carpetbagger sideways? Hey, Matt. Since you mentioned that, you can't really tell because the camera's not very good, but I have taken on the challenge of no shaving for the duration. All right, so I've got some scruff right now, okay, and I'm not shaving until we're out of lockdown. And by out of lockdown, I mean actually back at work. All right, so this is a terrible idea. It's a bad idea. For some reason, every few years I try growing the beard out just to see how it goes, and every time I'm just reminded of why I don't do that. It doesn't look right. But you know what? It's the apocalypse. It's the end of the world. There are no rules. So yeah. Optimus Prime. Wow, Optimus Prime lives in Oklahoma. Very few people have a thick accent. And most, you won't have a hard time understanding most Oklahomans if you go there. There are parts of the rural areas of the state where you can get some winners as far as the accent goes. Leah says I'm a shut up. I missed what you said. So yes, I can't get a haircut unless I try to cut it myself, which is a bad idea because everything's closed here. Everything. The Killer Weezer, Texas and Oklahoma sound the same. They're very close. It's in fact in a lot of ways they're indistinguishable. But it's different though. It's different from like the Deep South. It's not Georgia. It's different from like Tennessee. Tennessee kind of has its own accent. So it's not like that. It's not Southern exactly, but it's very similar to your traditional Texas accent. The world is going to be full of long-haired men soon, and I can't argue with that. All of the barbers are closed. You either have to just wait or attempt to cut it yourself. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's a bad idea. You're going to be tempted, but unless you're just taking the clippers to it and shaving, you won't get it right. You won't get it right. So just let it go. Let it go. We're in the apocalypse. Everybody's going to look like Braveheart, okay? Just accept that. Braveheart with like a 3-foot-long beard. So, yeah. This is so cool. I am so glad to be here. I'm sorry I missed it, and I will be back here next week. We're going to try to get back to the regular Tuesday live streams. I do have, like I said, I have a video. I don't think it's necessarily the best video I've ever done, but it's done. This is something called a coffee porter, and I'm not familiar with the brand. It was given to me by someone who has a bunch of it and was sick of it. But it's got a kind of a coffee flavor, sort of a coffee flavored beer, and I can taste it. I can taste the coffee. It's not bad. It's not bad. I was gonna let Susan try some, but I'm not sure if she'll like it. Looking like a dreadnought is cool. So yeah, this is my dreadnought jacket. I do want to get like a dreadnought patch or something. And I got, like I said, I'm gonna fill the thing up with all the patches that I get. Yeah, it's a beer. It does have alcohol in it. But to me, I think it's kind of like a low point. If I had to guess, I don't know anything about it. But it doesn't seem like it's like a very much alcohol. Yeah, I'm gonna fill this thing up. I'm gonna get a bunch of vintage patches and pins and put on here, and then as I Joe Exotic is his own dreadnought. I mean, that is what dreadnought would he be? He would be Joe Exotic as a dreadnought. Braveheart was ZZ Top. Exactly, Muskie. You've got it. See, Leah says, I'm about to cut off 18 inches of my hair. It's going to be hot soon. Yeah. It's going to be hot here, too. I can't stop you. I can't stop you. But that's a lot of hair to get rid of at one time. If you're looking for something to do with it, consider forming it into some kind of voodoo doll, and imbue it with the essence of your enemy, and then torture and destroy it, and perhaps that fate will also befall your enemy. So consider, it's something to do. You know, with your hair. That's a lot of hair. That is enough hair to donate to... Yes, if you want to be nice about it, you know, it is enough hair to donate to a charity. And that's what you could do if you're nice. I mean, the voodoo doll thing is, I think, a viable option. Order some empty wig lace and take up a new hobby. Very good. Hello, Rob, and hello, Sir Reginald. So, yeah. I'm sorry I didn't have a new review for you on Sunday. I knew I wasn't gonna. It wasn't done. It was getting closer, but it just wasn't done yet. But it is done now. And I really think that helped me get back in the routine of making videos. To really do it, I gotta stay in the routine, because if I get out of the routine, I get too, relaxed, and it's too easy to put things off. So I gotta stay in the routine in order to get them done. But I gotta find something else for the next review, because I was looking at my schedule. I don't like what I had planned. Basically, what it would come down to is another 90s Viper figure, and we've already done several of those this year. I need to get away from that. I need to do something fun. Black Hoodie 93. No promises. Comic Tropes wants Tiger Force. Look, Tiger Force is coming. That's going to happen. I don't think I can do it next, because I really need to get like a blonde mullet wig, and I have to find like a really nice, like shiny animal print shirt, because I got to do Tiger Force, and I got to do it right, and I don't have all the stuff. So we'll work on Tiger Force. But in the meantime, I really don't know. There are a couple of possibilities, but I got to make a decision pretty soon, because I got to start working on it. You know, I got to start writing the thing. Blow up the 90s figure after each review. Sometimes it's tempting. Slaughter's Marauders, that's an intriguing idea. That is. Redo some of the first videos you did. That's also an intriguing idea. I do know there will be at least one redo this year. There's already one redo in the works. Yes, congratulations to Comic Tropes for 100,000 subscribers. I guess we haven't been online since they hit that milestone. Congratulations on the silver play button, Chris. We are all very proud of you, and that's just a fact that you will have to accept. It's been my privilege to watch your channel grow. I knew you would get here, and I hope you enjoy it. You should enjoy it. Johnny Robot gives you the robot arm up, whatever that means. Yeah, 100 frickin' thousand. Green Yeti just hit 107. See, we're moving on up. Moving on up to the top. We finally got our piece of the pie. So we got about 8 minutes. 8 minutes before we do the Find Your Fate Operation Tiger Strike. So how is everybody handling isolation? Understanding that not everybody can be isolated. Some of you still have to work, whether you want to or not. So sorry about that. So does anybody here still have to work? And of those who aren't, how are you holding up? Aaron, yes, absolutely. We need to talk about 6-inch Destro. Let's see how everybody's doing first. How's everybody doing? Then we'll talk about 6-inch Destro. David works construction. Very poorly isolated, yeah. Hey, Brandon. Brandon also lives in the same area as Comic Tropes. So maybe you guys are buddies. I don't know. Still go to school, education online. Yeah, here, my daughter is going to be starting that pretty soon as well. Brandon has cabin fever. I completely understand that. I get it. Andre works for state of Mississippi. Hello, Mississippi from the United States. Special needs, still trucking. You guys that are still working through this because your job is essential, you guys are heroes in this. And especially if any of you are healthcare workers, you are the heroes. And I want all of you to know that I hold you in the highest regard. Everybody else, stay home. There's Amanda Maytubby. She says, my mom has to work. My mom has to work to do YouTube. We go to the top or the bottom part, I think. Oh, yeah, okay. So I think you're doing a voice-to-text thing. So hello, AK, if you're watching. Had a lot of fun today. Nice to spend some time with you. I'll see you tomorrow. We got more G.I. Joe stuff to do. But yeah, let's, oh, and by the way, at least for the time being, Joe Fest is still on, okay? Joe Fest is at the end of June, so we'll just have to see where we are when we get there. But Ed, the guy that runs Joe Fest, he's really hoping to keep it going. Excuse me. Okay. We have 5 minutes before Operation Tiger Strike. Let's talk about 6-inch Destro, okay? Because there's been a lot of talk about the 6-inch figure line. They've been hit or miss, and I'm right there with you. Hit or miss. I'm interested in Snake Eyes. I pre-ordered Snake Eyes. I was less interested in the other figures until they got to this Destro. And the Destro looks like, I mean, it's based on the classic design, but it's updated with some more detail and some more accessories. And I think it looks pretty good. So I did pre-order it. Now, as far as, like, I can't pass judgment on any of this stuff until I actually see it and have it in hand. But those at least I'm gonna take a look at. Snake Eyes and Destro. I want to see them. I want to actually hold them and see them in my hand so that I can really decide what I think about them. Leah is alluding to something, but I don't think it. I'm gonna just let that slide, Leah. I'm letting it slide. Yes. Is Cobra Commander going to get 6-inch? I guess you'd have to ask Mrs. Cobra Commander if he's going to get 6-inch. And thank you, AK, and also thank you, everyone, for causing me to take a left turn in the live stream while there's a kid watching. Cover his ears, please. Anyway... it takes more than that, Leah. It takes more than that. Anyway, so I don't think there was a Cobra Commander in this wave of the 6-inch line, but I would assume there will eventually be. And, there are no army builders yet in this 6-inch line. And, they've got to do army builders. They got to do some Vipers. They got to do some Cobra Troopers. People will buy dozens of those. Destro, what's in the case? I'll tell you what's in Destro's case. It's the same thing that was in Marcellus Wallace's briefcase in Pulp Fiction. AK, you're not allowed to watch Pulp Fiction. Going to customize Lego Star Wars clones as Joe's. That could be fun. Hey, and if you're isolated, you probably have a lot of time on your hands. A lot of time to tackle those creative projects that you've been putting off. So, yeah. 3 minutes till story time. Yes. We're going to do Operation Tiger Strike. Now for those of you who haven't done this before, this is a Find Your Fate book, okay? I am going to don the Professor Grandpa glasses. I'm going to read this. I'm going to, this is now at the end of certain pages, you have to make a choice, right? You've got to pick one of the two options, and we will do an extremely informal poll in the live chat where you will select which option you want, and whichever has the most, we'll go with that, and we will see if we survive. Now, I know we've done this book before. I can't remember how it turned out. I don't think we survived this one last time. So we'll see if we can actually make it through the story alive this time. So, in about a minute, we'll go ahead and get started on that. Yeah, story time is back. And I think Brandon is the one that suggested it. This is something that, I think is about time. Grenade to the... yes. Glenn uses glasses every day. Me too. I poke a little bit of fun at myself because I had resisted wearing reading glasses for the longest time. I denied that I needed them until I just, I just couldn't read. I can read this. This on the screen is pretty clear, but actually at this distance, it starts to get a bit blurry, and it just, I broke down and I got the reading glasses. Amanda says hi from AM. Well, hello AM, and if that's AK, hello AK. Nice to hear from you. Good the robot. This is I get that reference, by the way. I do get that reference. But this is Johnny Robot, as named by What's on Joe Mind. Johnny Robot. So, so AK, if you're still watching, he has a name now. It's Johnny Robot. Oh, Chad sends a super chat. It says, don't really have a question this time, so happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, Chad, and thank you for being here. Really nice that you're here. Really appreciate it. So yes. Oh, it's time. I'm a minute late. I gotta. Here, let me move this light closer. Sorry, I don't want to blind you, but I need to be able to read. That's not gonna work. Sorry, I'm not trying to put the light directly in the camera. Hey, I'm all yellow now. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? It is time. Let's do it. All right. This time on Masterpiece Theater. All right, page 1. And I have had some of this, and so now I'm all belchy, so I apologize. We'll try not to burp into the microphone. Hello, John Carling. Nice to see you. Okay, here we go. Page 1. Okay, page 1, take 2. Moving smoothly across the wooden floor, the robed figure advances. His steely eyes are locked on you in total, unshakable concentration. He sees every move you make. He seems to feel your very heartbeat. This is sexy. This is, ooh. I wonder what's gonna, ooh, okay. You know you are up against a master. Ooh. This got a little bit of 50 Shades of Grey here. Let's see. He pauses. His left hand circles in front. His left hand circles in front. His back leg trails to the side. Somebody try to draw this out as a picture. I want to picture how this is. His left back leg trails to the side. You adjust your stance. You have to be ready for the split second in which, yeah! This is the moment. Your opponent attacks. His lightning-fast kicks snap through the air. You are driven back to the wall. He comes in close. You jump out of the way and counter with a reverse punch. The blow catches him in the chest. He drops to one knee. Now, to finish off with a okay, there's a word that doesn't make any sense. The master's voice rings across the floor. The fight is over. You lower your hands and bow to your opponent. He rises and does the same. It was a good workout. Sexy workout. Your code name is Sting. Sting. Did they get that from the every move you make thing? Wasn't it Sting that did that? Anyway, so Sting, possibly with the police, and that's what you do best, with your hands, with your feet, and with traditional Oriental weapons. Snake Eyes, the silent and deadly G.I. Joe master of martial arts, trained you. Now you hold black belt rank in 3 styles of martial arts. When it comes down to a hand-to-hand fight, you're one of the best. You fold your gi, the training outfit you wear to workouts, into a neat roll and tie it with the belt. Then, bowing to the master and the other students, you leave the dojo. From the top floor of the old factory building, it's 117 steps to the ground floor, and each one of these steps makes its own particular creak. You've been practicing at this dojo for so many years that you know them all by heart. At the bottom, you push open the metal door and walk into the warm New Orleans night. We're in New Orleans. Nolans. It rained earlier, but the air smells as if it might start up again. You make your way through the back streets of the city, stepping around the puddles as you go. You're halfway down Tenard Street when you hear footsteps. Hey, Comic Tropes, I don't think Comic Tropes is still here because he had to go do an interview because he's famous. But I believe Comic Tropes, Chris, lived in New Orleans. So perhaps he could help us, identify some of these place names. You whirl around, thinking you are ready for anything. Nonetheless, you are startled by the sight before you. Hawk, you say, surprised to see your G.I. Joe commanding officer here in your hometown of Nolans. What brings you to these parts? Actually, I'm here to see you, he answers. I was up in Washington, D.C. for meetings. It almost drove me bats. You know me, I like the active jobs. I can't stand all that talking. His voice trails off as if he has something else on his mind. Then this package came for me. He pauses under a streetlight and pulls a handkerchief from his khaki jacket. Unfolding it carefully, he produces a tiny stone carving. It's a piece of dark green jade, beautifully formed into the image of a tiger. It's from a friend, someone I knew a long time ago, he says, and it means he's in trouble. What kind of trouble, you ask, and how can I help? Hawk smiles for the first time since you've seen him, but it's only for a second. His grave expression concerns. Come with me, he says, and I'll tell you the whole story. Page 4. Man, it's taken a while for us to get to a choice. Okay, so on page 6, we get to make a choice, okay? We still got a couple pages to go. All right. You follow Hawk around a corner and into a rundown cafe. The two of you grab a corner table. Even in the dim light of the cafe, you notice that Hawk looks tired. For you to understand the present trouble, he says in a voice so low that you must lean toward him to hear, I'll give you some background on my friend. Shoot, you say, now full of curiosity. The man who sent me the jade tiger is named Kip Sung. I met him 15 years ago when I was on a secret assignment in Thailand. There was a foul-up in our communications, and one of our messages fell into enemy hands. Before we knew it, the whole operation was blown wide open. Most of our agents never made it home. I wouldn't have either if Kip hadn't decided to help me. Hawk pauses for a moment. He saved my life. Once I was safe, I told him if there was ever anything I could do to repay him, he should send me that tiger. All right. So, send me that tiger. What happened, you ask quickly. Kip's daughter, Sian, has disappeared, Hawk answers. She was last seen at the airport in Hong Kong. That was 72 hours ago. It sounds like she's been kidnapped. And Kip has asked for my help. He pauses and looks at you intently. But there's a problem with helping him, Sting. A big problem. I can't get clearance to help him, says Hawk bitterly. The top general says the political situation in Thailand is too touchy to risk it, and the ambassador is dead set against it. I'd have to fill out about 6,000 forms to get through all the red tape, and by the time we finished it all, Kip's daughter would be gone for good. Hawk flings his hands up in the air so you can almost see the paperwork fly. He tries to laugh at the situation, but you can see that this is pretty tough for him. I need volunteers, he says quietly. This operation will be strictly off the record and under the table. So we're signing up for an illegal operation. Yes, Alex, but I believe once we spend a night there, the world's our oyster. So, that's something to look forward to. So, let's hear more about this illegal operation in Thailand. Hawk rubs his eyes with the back of his hand. It's probably been 2 or 3 days since he had any real sleep. Sting, he says. I need you to go with me on this one. That's what brings me to New Orleans. I knew you were visiting your family here during your leave, but there's a lot that could go wrong. Think about it. With that, he gets up from the table and walks to the other end of the cafe, leaving you to make your choice. Page 6. Your eyes wander around. We can't have the option of just not going, right? Because then the story's over. Your eyes wander around the cafe. In the far corner, a jazz band has started up. A big man at a tiny table, his chair leaned back against the wall, seems completely engrossed in the music. Even under the canvas that the canvas hat pulled low over his face, you recognize that it's Roadblock. Hawk's probably using New Orleans as his base of operation. You half wonder if Roadblock is joining Hawk. Not that it matters much. Deep in thought, you drum your fingers against the table. You'd love to go with Hawk on his mission to save Kip's daughter. The easiest thing in the world would be to say, forget the top brass, I'll do it. But there's more than just your friendship with Hawk to consider. You signed on to be a part of the G.I. Joe team, so you can't just run off whenever you feel like it. What happens if you skip out with Hawk and the brass wants to call you out for a mission? You'd be halfway around the world, and the phone in the barracks would be ringing off the hook. You could let a lot of people down. Should you follow orders or follow Hawk? It's a tough decision, that's for sure. You have to make up your mind, well, what will it be? So here are your options. Get ready to type. Get ready to type, okay? Your options are, if you stick by the book and turn Hawk down, go to page 7. If you volunteer to help Hawk, go to page 28. So, tell Hawk to get bent, page 7, or go on the illegal mission, page 28. 7 or 28. We got some 7s. We got some 28s. Oh, wow. A whole bunch of 28s. It looks like... yeah. Sorry, 7s. Sorry those for playing it safe. But, yeah, 28 has totally overwhelmed the 7s. Okay. All right, so we're going to say, yes, Hawk, sign me up for that illegal mission that will most likely get all of us court-martialed and imprisoned for the rest of our lives. Let's do it. Page 28. Here we go. Page 28. 28. Okay, page 28. You glance across the dark New Orleans cafe at Hawk. There are only a few things in this world that really matter. Helping out a friend is one of them. You walk over to where Hawk is waiting and say, how soon do we leave? He smiles and said, now that we're getting a crew together, it won't be long at all. Roadblock tips his hat in your direction as Hawk leads you toward the back exit of the cafe. Then the G.I. Joe gunner gets up to join you. Good. It's always comforting to have a heavy machine gunner like Rock and Roll along on a mission. In the courtyard behind the cafe, you see some of the boys have already gathered together. Gung Ho, the jungle warfare expert, is letting the cool sweat from his glass of iced tea drip into... You really think Gung Ho is drinking iced tea? I mean, come on. He's from Louisiana, and, you know, he's banging around New Orleans, and he goes up to the bar and says, give me an iced tea. Sweet. Yeah, so Gung Ho, Rakondo. Okay. Gung Ho is the jungle expert, and you have Rakondo, a one-man... Rakondo is the jungle expert. All right, I'm sorry. Rakondo, one-man reconnaissance team, is readjusting one of the colorful lures on his cloth fishing hat. Alongside him is Dial Tone, the communications man, busily adjusting the signal on his portable tuner. So it looks like our team consists of Gung Ho, Rakondo, Dial Tone, Roadblock, and of course Hawk and us. Yes, it's a Long Island iced tea. Turn to Hawk, say, plenty of help. You don't really need me. Of course I do, he replies. Kip Sung is a master of the martial arts. Anyone confident enough to cross him has got to be taken seriously. I sent the word out that I was looking for Snake Eyes, but so far he hasn't shown up. Next to him, you're the best martial artist we have. Yeah, Snake Eyes said, hold on a second, Hawk. I'm not going to jail for you. I'm not going to jail for you or anybody. All right. Kip Sung, the name is so familiar to you, but why? You rack your brain trying to remember where you heard it before. Wait a minute, you say, stopping dead in your tracks. You glance from your buddies to Hawk. Your friend isn't the Kip Sung, is he? By your understanding, there's only one 10th degree black belt living in the world today, and his name is Kip Sung. But you couldn't believe anyone would mess with him, so you didn't make the connection before. Hawk looks at you and says simply, that's the man. What a shocker, you say, shaking your head. It was his daughter who was kidnapped. Who would have the nerve to challenge him? He's the head of one of the most powerful families in the East. Gung Ho picks up a lemon wedge and says, "This Sung guy has bad enemies in a serious way." He squeezes a drop of lemon juice onto his tongue. Man, this is getting sexy again. Squeezes a drop of lemon juice onto his tongue. "So now you know why we need you on this one, Sting. Our team would never make it without a top martial artist like you. You take a deep breath. This is going to be one hairy operation." Hairy, man. This is making me uncomfortable. Page 57. You get another choice soon? Hang on a second. One sec. Let's see. Okay. 50s. Okay. Wait. What's that? I think I went to the wrong page. Yeah, 57. Okay. "Oh, I see it," says Hawk. "Whoever kidnapped the girl must have known she was visiting her father in Thailand, since they knew what flight she took home to Hong Kong. They may simply have waited until she was at the Hong Kong airport to separate her from her father's help. My hunch is that the culprit is based in Thailand, not far from Kip Sung's home." "Let's go then," Roadblock says. "I haven't been to Thailand in about 13 years. I'd like to see it again." "It's decided again, you say. We fly to Kip Sung's home in Thailand." Flying halfway around the world is exhausting. You pass through many time zones that you are not sure, so many time zones that you're not sure if it's day or night. Why would you be, just look outside, man. Oh, do the voices, man. Let's see. In Burma, you transfer to a small 2-engine plane for the last part of the trip. Just before sunrise, the plane banks over a green jungle in Thailand and sets down on a small dirt landing strip. You stand behind your duffel's bags on the airstrip and watch your plane take off. You've never been in the East before. As the rising sun streaks the sky with pink, the air gets warm and the low buzz of insects grow louder. You, Hawk, Roadblock, Dial Tone, and Gung Ho look at one another. You know there's no turning back now. Page 22. Do we get a choice soon? We haven't been able to choose. We've only been able to choose one option. Okay, there's a choice at the end of this page. The team stares at the desolate Thai landscape. Even Hawk seems a bit concerned. He looks from one end of the airstrip to the other. Beyond the clearing, the jungle closes in fast. About 6 hours ago, I got a message to Kip, he says. He understood that we were coming in and agreed to meet us here to bring us to his home. The Sung family estate is only about 20 miles to the east. Gung Ho kicks one of the duffels slightly and says, "A lot can happen in 6 hours, especially to a man who's in the middle of trouble." No one has anything to add. 30 minutes pass. The air is warm and getting warmer. Finally, Hawk says, "A few of us will wait here for Sung, but I need some guys to set off for the estate on their own. If Kip's been prevented from meeting us, we'd better find out about it." He looks at the team. Rakondo raises his hand. Gung Ho gives a nod. We have to decide if we're going to volunteer, okay? Your choices are volunteer or pass. Volunteer, choose number 23. Pass, choose 55. Volunteer, page 23. Pass, page 55. So choose 23 or 55. 23 to volunteer, 55 to say hell no. Let's see. 55 is a little bit ahead. 23, that's pretty even. That's really close. Let's see. Oh, and who? Man, I think 55, I think, was leading, but then a whole bunch of 23s came in. Yeah, I think 23 has it. Okay, 23. We're volunteering to go, okay? Page 23. Here we go. Count me as a volunteer, you shout, grabbing your gear. If there's a mission to be done, you want to be on it. Hawk gives Recondo a local map and says your main objective is to reach Kip Sung's estate and find him. Recondo folds the map and stuffs it into his shirt. The three of you move out. All you have to do is head west for a mile until you hit the river, then follow it downstream. As you enter the hidden world of the jungle, you breathe deeply. The air is heavy with moisture. Vines block your path. A feeling of being closed in makes your heart race. You can't see the sky or the airstrip behind you or much ahead. For about 400 feet, you're about 400 feet into the jungle when Recondo turns around. I'm lost, he says. For a second, your heart skips a beat. Then you see the Joker's grin on his face. So he's like, the Joker. Hilarious, Recondo. Of course he's kidding. This thick foliage is no problem to an experienced jungle fighter like Recondo. The three of you start to laugh and the tension is broken. As you trudge through the jungle, your mind wanders. You wonder why Kip Sung was not there to meet you. Did someone prevent him, or did someone intercept the message Hawk sent? Perhaps Kip Sung doesn't even know you're here. If that's true, then someone else does know. Page 25. Oh, we do have a choice to make at the end of page 25, okay? The thought that someone else besides Kip Sung received Hawk's message shakes you out of your daydreaming. You realize you'd better be alert for an ambush as you near the Sung estate. Someone other than Kip Sung might be waiting for you. Soon the trail widens a bit. Recondo points to the river just a few feet ahead. You pause at the water's edge. Hey, check that out, whispers Gung Ho, motioning to his right. You follow his glance. A little way down the stream, hidden by overhanging vines, a small boat floats in the shadows. A man, his face hidden by a broad hat, is fishing. Looks peaceful enough, Recondo says. Are you sure that guy is really a fisherman? Asks Gung Ho. When I was in Nam, the enemy sometimes disguised themselves as fishermen just so they could take us by surprise. I think the guy is safe enough, Recondo says. Let's hire him to float us downstream to the estate. I don't trust it, mutters Gung Ho. I've had too many bad experiences with this kind of setup. What do you think, Sting? It would be a fast way to cover the 19 miles to the estate, but you know that setups come in all sizes and shapes. Recondo and Gung Ho want you to cast the deciding vote. All right, you ready? Apparently Gung Ho was. Everybody in 80s G.I. Joe was in Nam. Apparently all of them. All right, here are your choices. If you want to check out the fisherman, turn to page 26. 26 to check out the fisherman. If you want to try to slip by him, 72, okay? 26 to check out the fisherman, 72 to slip by the fisherman. So choose not blue 22. It's not that call. It's 26 or 72. 26 or 72. Omaha. Go. 72. It's really close, guys, but I think 72 is winning. Yeah, oh, that's close. And there are a bunch of 26 that just came in. Let's see. Man, that's close. See, I'm not really counting these. I'm just kind of getting the impression of how many goes by. And that is so close to a tie. But I'm going to say 72 edges it out just a little bit. Oh, Peter says we're going to be dead on 72. Did we make this? I feel like we made this mistake before. Didn't we? I'm going to be the tiebreaker, and I'm going to say 26, okay? We're going with 26. All right. Slow and easy, you move down the trail to where the boat is tied. You're willing to take a chance that this is really a fisherman if it means you don't have to trek the remaining 19 miles to the Sung estate. Since I feel confident that this guy is okay, I'll go first and check him out, says Recondo. If he seems reasonable, there's nothing suspicious in the boat. You two follow. But if he turns out to be a problem, then we'll go home. I'm sorry. Then we'll go down and help you solve the problem. They're going to kill that fisherman. If he looks at him sideways, he's dead. Recondo nods in agreement and eases down the embankment toward the shoreline. He startles the fisherman, who appears to have been dozing. The fisherman begins to untie his bowline that is holding his boat tied to an onshore tree. Recondo runs toward him. He doesn't want the man to leave. You see Recondo reach the startled fisherman, but he is now out of earshot. The man has climbed into his boat, but Recondo puts one foot on the side of it to keep the man from leaving. You see Recondo unhook one of his colorful fishing lures from his hat. So Recondo has fishing lures on his hat for some reason. Obviously, he likes the payment your buddy is offering him. Recondo flashes the high sign, and you and Gung Ho hurry down to the boat. Page 8. Go to page 8. We're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. Okay. You, Gung Ho, and Recondo climb into the wooden fishing boat. It sinks low into the water. There's not that much weight in this boat, you think. You look around the boat bottom, but you don't see anything particularly heavy. The fisherman seems undisturbed by how low the boat is riding in the water as you float off downstream. Nonetheless, you keep a close eye on him as Gung Ho scans the shoreline. Recondo pulls out a map and is just getting a mark on your location when a sword rips up through the bottom of the boat. Splintered wood flies into the air. A ninja-suited figure lunges over the stern just as the fisherman leaps into the water. Time for some quick thinking. Should you dive after the fisherman and try to catch him? Or should you stay with the boat and help Recondo and Gung Ho fight this deadly ninja? You must decide immediately. Okay? You ready? The choices are stay with the boat, page 80, or dive after the fisherman, page 53. Stay with the boat, 80. Dive with the fisherman, 53. 80 to stay with the boat, 53 to dive with the fisherman. 53 or 80. Type 53 or 80. Ooh, okay. A lot of 80s. A lot of 80s. I think 80 is the clear winner here. I'm going with 80. I think we have a clear winner. Let's go to 80. Okay. That's way at the back. Let's see. We haven't even had any illustrations yet. Okay, here we are. Page 80. Two more ninjas climb into the boat. Gung Ho grabs his oar and belly whacks the first of the ninjas back into the river. Yeah, I'm glad he's not afraid of ninjas. You know, you take the fight to them. You sweep the legs out from under number 2 and follow with a fast blow to the middle. Sweep the leg. Recondo dives over you and tackles the last one. Your buddy and the ninja fall into the bottom of the boat. Their knives flash. The ninja is quicker. In an instant, Recondo is pinned against the bottom of the boat. You try to help him, but you trip on a basket of fish. Luckily, Gung Ho still has that oar, and he's getting good with it too. He cleans the ninja off the deck, and things get quiet again. It's just the three of you and the ninja you knocked out. The boat, its bottom ripped from the ninja attack, is sinking quickly. There's not much else to do but try to swim for it. As the water rises, you grab the second attacker, who's still out cold, in a lifeguard's hold. You start to swim. Recondo and Gung Ho are right beside you. You all head for shore. Page 27. Let's go to 27. 27. Okay. The river. This is a long one. It's already 8 o'clock, but we gotta finish. We'll end the live stream after we finish story time. Yeah, watch out for snakes. The river water's cold and not so pleasant after the fight you've just been in. Gung-Ho swims hard toward the bank. In a moment, he's back on dry land. Then he pulls you, Recondo, and the waterlogged assassin up after him. What are you going to do with this guy? Asks Recondo, squeezing the water out of his hat. If we're lucky, you say, he'll explain this whole operation to us. Yes, I feel that ninjas are well known for, just explaining all of their plans. You bend down to examine the man closely. The only clue to his identity is a small tattoo on his left forearm. It shows the moon rising over the sea. So it's not an Arashikage ninja. It's some moon ninja, some moony ninja. You pour cold water over his neck, but he doesn't come around. So we're trying to waterboard the guy now. So we're waterboarding a prisoner. There's something fishy going on here. You didn't hit the guy that hard, and from the way he's breathing, you can tell he should be nearing consciousness. Still, his eyes stay shut. All at once, you figure out what's going on. Let's just tie the ninja up and get on with our mission, you say loudly. Hurry or we'll miss our rendezvous. What run? And then Gung-Ho starts to ask. You silence him with a knowing look. Oh yeah, that rendezvous, Gung-Ho says. Page 27. Oh, sorry, page 37. I was already on page 27. This is long. But hey, we haven't died yet. That's a good sign. The three of you practice your navy knots on the knocked out ninja. When he's good and tied up, you start down the trail. This is kinky. It is. You start down the trail again. What's the rush? Asks Recondo. We could have brought that guy out of his daze. And what rendezvous are you talking about? He wasn't knocked out, you answer quietly. He heard every word we said. Carefully, you circle around to a position just behind the roped assassin. Just as you thought, he's hard at work on those knots. As soon as he's free, he'll try to complete his job. That means eliminating us, you explain. But he'll need more help, and when he goes to get it, we'll be following. He'll lead us right to his headquarters. You grin and continue. Did you see the tattoo on his forearm? It was a moon tattoo. He's a moony ninja. You grin and continue. Oh, I'm sorry. The tattoo on his forearm. It's our first real clue. Only one family uses the image of the moon rising over the sea. You glance at Recondo and Gung-Ho. That symbol is the crest of the Cobra Agent Storm Shadow's family. It really isn't. It in fact that is not. But anyway, that rotten ninja is behind all this. I wonder if he's working for Cobra as usual, or if he's up to something on his own this time. Near the riverbank, the assassin is making progress with the ropes. He has twisted halfway around, dislocated one leg, tucked his arm behind his shoulder. Soon he's free. That's it. The three of you set out after him as he takes off down the trail. Page 32. We still don't get a choice at the end of page 32. This is just a long story. The assassin moves quickly and easily through the jungle, sometimes on a trail, sometimes through the thickest undergrowth. You stick with him, though you lag far enough behind so he doesn't spot you. After almost 2 hours, he cuts across a stream and climbs up the side of a rocky hill. At the top, the rest of his evil cohorts are waiting. You, Recondo, and Gung-Ho crawl to the edge of the clearing, just close enough to hear them speak. Excuse me. The three who took the river got away, the assassin reports. Do you want to go after those fools at the airstrip? No, says a ninja who appears to be in charge. Leave them for now. It's more important to stop those three from reaching the temple. What temple, you wonder? We have been tending the secret temple for just such a moment as this, the man continues. Now we are able to protect and assist one who is a direct descendant of the Kasori family. We, the keepers of the Kasori temple, owe him our devotion. With our aid, Storm Shadow will have his revenge. Storm Shadow. You knew it. Yeah. Okay, page 33. Oh, we get a choice at the end of page 33. We're not dead yet, and in this day and age, simply not being dead, you're ahead of the game. All right. As the ninjas go on a tirade about their honor and duty, you ponder what you've heard. It just might be more important to track down this temple than to find Kip Sung. Edging back from the clearing, you and your buddies look at one another. We're on to something now, you say. But we don't even know if this temple business has anything to do with Kip Sung's daughter, Gung Ho objects. Hawk told us to find Kip Sung, and I don't want to let him down by running off on some wild goose chase. Come on, you argue, look at it. It all adds up. The only way these guys could possibly have known we were in the jungle is if they intercepted the message Hawk sent to Kip Sung. That means they're interested in Kip Sung's business. Besides, if you're looking for someone tough enough to take on Kip Sung, Storm Shadow is your man. Recondo pulls out a map, still damp from the dunking in the river, but luckily not too blurry. I don't see a temple indicated here. It's probably just a ruin, you say, and those guys did call it a secret temple. I don't like this, Gung Ho mutters. Let's go to the estate. So we have to make a choice, and I feel like this is a big one, okay? If you are sure the temple is the way to go, turn to page 24. If you want to stick with the original plan, turn to page 73. So Temple 34, original plan 73. Temple 34, original plan 33. Temple, type your selections now. Temple 34. Temple 34, original plan 73. Not 24, 34. 34. Let's see, 34. All right, 34 is winning by a pretty wide margin. 34 is winning by a pretty wide margin. I don't feel too good about it, but you guys are making the choices. I'm going to go with 34. You guys obviously... yeah, that 34 won by a wide margin. So here we go. Going to page 34. Your choice now. All right. Well, I will tell you that we do not die at the end of page 34. All right. You know that if Hawk were here, he'd take the chance on the temple. So in the spirit of your commanding officer, you break the rules. Yes, Hawk does like to break the rules, doesn't he? You take a closer look at the map and say, mostly to yourself, if I were a Kasori monk, where would I build a temple? Your finger traces over the contour lines that show the shape and character of the land. Gung Ho groans and says, this system of yours doesn't seem to quite as reliable as, say, looking over a set of aerial photos. You wave him off. We haven't got any of those, you reply. Relax. This is going to work. The land hasn't changed much in 500 years. If a spot was good then, it will still be good now. Take a look here. Your finger taps on the map. Right here, there are two rivers. The two rivers come together. That would be an easy place to defend. Plus, the sun would rise between these two mountain peaks, so it would be very beautiful. Seems good, right? I don't buy it, says Gung Ho, getting to his feet. But I'm willing to go there and check it out with you. You fold up the map and hand it back to Recondo. He looks surprised when you say, I won't be needing this anymore. Okay, page 35. Leaving the plotting ninjas behind, you and your buddies head toward the spot you picked for the temple. Without hesitation, you lead the still doubting Gung Ho and Recondo through the jungle. They are more convinced when you start explaining to them that you've heard of this Kasori temple before. It was built hundreds of years ago by monks who developed the tiger style of fighting. Tiger fighting. These monks turned their knowledge of evil and the temple's turned their knowledge to evil, and the temple soon turned into a ninja training ground. The legends you've heard say that it was located in these mountains at a spot where two rivers join. Isn't that a lot of useful information to just have for no reason? They're devoted to keeping the ancient ceremonies and to setting the deadly traps that protect the inner sanctum of the temple. Deadly traps? What have we gotten ourselves into? They didn't say anything about deadly traps. I used to think these were just crazy tales told by eccentric old martial artists. Now it seems that the tales are true, you conclude. Those guys who we fought must be the keepers of the Kasori Temple. And it looks like they're working for Storm Shadow, page 86. Gotta be running out of pages soon. Okay, we have a choice to make at the end of page 86. And now we're 12 minutes over our time. So let's try to make it snappy here. As you crawl through the undergrowth on your belly, daylight is slipping away. The sounds of the jungle seem louder. Up ahead, the massive walls of the temple ruins loom into sight. As you come nearer, you are filled with awe. Though the temple shows the signs of its age, it's still majestic. Real gold rims the doorways. The gate is intricately carved. The stones of which it is built are flecked with gold and shimmer in the setting sun. Gung-Ho gives a low whistle of admiration. It's impressive, all right, he says, and it seems completely empty. Let's go in. Maybe I should go first, you say. That way it will be easier to sneak past anyone who's waiting inside. I think we should stick together, Gung-Ho argues, but it's up to you. By entering the temple alone, you may have the advantage of secrecy, but Gung-Ho and Rikondo are good fighters. Their help may make all the difference in a sticky situation. Are you a loner or a team player? If you enter the temple alone, turn to page 36. If you go into the temple with Rikondo and Gung-Ho, page 74. Okay, so those are your choices. 36 if you want to enter the temple alone. 74 if you want to take the other guys with you. 36 to go alone, 74 to take the other guys. 36 to go alone, 74 to, it looks like 74 is winning by a large margin. A few more 36s, but yeah, 74. All right. So we're a team player. We're going to page 74. Okay. All right. There could be dozens of ninjas inside the temple, or maybe Storm Shadow is already there, lying in wait. You've got to make the odds just a bit more even by bringing Rikondo and Gung-Ho with you. You whisper to your buddies, we're not going to get our job done by sitting around here. Just get in there and start fighting. Your friends nod and ready their weapons, then Rikondo moves off to the left. Gung-Ho fades right. You signal to them and begin closing in. Carefully, you slide through the main entrance. Rikondo eases himself over the crumbling wall. Gung-Ho creeps through the gap in the stone. So far, nothing has moved except a few leaves. You hope that it's just the night breeze. You sneak a little farther through the temple ruins. Suddenly, a faint scraping sound of metal over stone breaks the quiet. You look around the courtyard. It could have been someone scaling a wall. Was it one of your pals? You study the protective walls, then the tall stone temple itself. The upper levels glow softly in the moonlight. Still, you don't see anything move. Page 58. Everything is silent in the courtyard of the temple. You're inside, but are you alone? You haven't seen Gung-Ho in a few minutes. Over on the left, a bird calls. Or is it a bowstring being drawn? Rikondo's nowhere in sight either. You slide around to the far side of the crumbling wall. It gives you a better view of everything around you. A bright shaft of moonlight cuts across the courtyard as the moon fights its way out from behind a cloud. And there he is, exposed by the silvery beam. his cloak of shadow pulled away. You're facing the dreaded storm shadow. The moon has caught him poised to kill. He stands with an arrow drawn taut in the bow he holds. Your eyes meet and lock. You take a small step to the right. Storm Shadow follows you with his eyes, keeping the arrow trained on your heart. And then you blink. That's all the sign of weakness the ninja needs. Pssh! Sound effect. The soft sound of an arrow's tail feather brushing the wire of the assassin's bow as it's released. No, not a second to run or duck. The arrow pierces your heart. As the full moon drifts clear of its cloud covering, 3 bodies lie revealed in its light. Victims of the most deadly creature on earth, the ninja assassin. The end. We died. We died, and we took Rakondo and Gung Ho with us. We went through that. We're like 17 minutes over time, and we went through that whole stinking story, and we died. That's the second time we've died on this thing. What does it take to win on this? All right. That's it. I still feel like this was a good time. It's fine. We'll take another crack at this book sometime. But game over, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the live stream. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you to Johnny Robot, my pal here. And we will do it again next week. I really missed you guys. I'm really glad to be back. Thank you for coming. It was really awesome. But I'm pretty tired now, so I will let you go. But don't forget, there is a video coming on Sunday. Oh yeah, it's Tuesday. That means there's a new video from Timmer, Half the Battle. So after you're done here, you could pop over to Half the Battle on YouTube and watch Timmer's video. So anyway, thanks everyone. Good night. We will do it again next week. And the Hoodster is back. And we'll see you later. Bye everyone.